everyone! Welcome back to Let's Play Greatest Attorney. In our last episode, we started Case 5, caught Sholmes in a bad mood, and encountered a distressing pawnbroker. Yeah. Let's keep going. They're often found in little stalls in the park. People queue for hours to see them. Why? Why are people meddling with such black magic? It is no magic, my dear madam. It is, well... It's far too complicated to explain at the present. We'll save this lesson for another day. Oh. It's something I am incapable of doing. That's not a calendar you could easily miss, is it? 15th April, today's date. Yes, that's not for sale, I must point out. It's an Eastern-style, page-a-day calendar. Every night at midnight, I tear off the front page to reveal the following day's date. Perfect calendar for a tearaway fellow such as yourself, Mr. Winterbank. And who was it who walked out of here with the wrong violin before? Well, when the agreed storage period is passed without repayment, articles are forfeited, you see. So I have to keep a close eye on that date. It's something of a pawnbroker's obsession, you might say. I guess I can see you're very dedicated to your job. Good. Please don't freaking blow your brains out here. There seems to be a little door hidden behind that curtain there. That leads to the storage room, where Mr. Winterbank keeps articles that are currently in pawn. I see. There's nothing particular interest inside. I certainly wouldn't recommend any loss in this activity. Recommend it or not, it's something I tend to do. But there is but one key, and Mr. Winterbank keeps it on his pocket at all times. Before he sleeps, he places it in a small pot which he slides under his pillow. How on earth do you know that, Mr. Sholmes? I'm a detective, sir. It is my business to know what others do not. I'm frequently assailed by information that I neither care nor wish to retain. Mr. Sholmes, you are a wonder, and the prime suspect of this pawnbrokery is ever bungled, or burgled. Look at that enormous ledger open on the counter there. If Winterbank is, if nothing else, very particular about recording the items he accepts. He'd have to be, otherwise he'd get himself into all sorts of trouble. Which might explain the thing that catches my eye far worse than the ledger. The gun. Do not entertain even a single thought of pilfering an article herein, my dear fellow. I assure you, Mr. Winterbank would not hesitate to draw that weapon with a speed belying his portly size. You don't mean he'd... blow his brains out, indeed, in recompense for his blunder. That's not funny, Sholmes. Oh my. But in any case, of course we would never do such a thing. How could you even suggest it? Alright, is there anything that I am missing here? What could this lovely, big, shiny box be? That, my dear madam, is a music box. That's a friggin' huge music box. Oh my, yes. But I've certainly never seen one so large before. Shall we listen a while? What a sublime sound. It's like the music of angels. Never heard anything like it before in my life. This particular specimen is of the larger variety, commonly found in public houses and restaurants. There's a metal disc inside on which the notes to be played are recorded. Simply by replacing the disc with another, any music you care to imagine can be played. My goodness, what a simply delightful machine. Indeed, though their popularity has waned recently with the development of the gramophone, of course. Science and technology advance at such an overwhelming pace, and it's only going to get faster. missing here? Should be more. Blah, 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 blah. What am I missing? No. What am I missing? There's something I'm missing here that I can't. Oh, here we go. Look at this. Whatever could it be used for? I have no idea. There's a small catch just here. Look. We're going to open it, aren't we? That's amazing. Some sort of spring-loaded mechanism, which we'll never manage to put back to the way it was before. What are you two doing? Us? Nothing. No, nothing at all. Whatever this device is, it seems to have a pair of little windows to look through. Oh, this is probably another stereoscope. What? Only tuppence fight? That ain't fair, you know it. I know who that is. The article's barely worth a penny, miss. I cannot offer more. Sounds like there's an argument brewing over by the counter. Come on, that can't be right. Have you even had your proper butchers at it? I've seen all I need to see, young girl. Wait, don't we know? I'm sure I recognize her. It's the young lady from Mr. McGilder's trial 2 months ago. Oh God, it's a... Her name is Jenna Lestrade, my lord. She's a dancer, and across among large crowds, relieving people of their purses. It's commonly called a pickpocket. Oh-ho-ho! Go, Benny, you lot. Hello, Miss Lestrade. I hope you've been well. Stop loading that gun. Hey, well, you remember me then, do you? Well, I remember being completely surrounded by smoke, that's for sure. So what are you doing here? Down and out like the rest of us. Nothing to eat. Come to pop that black coat, have you? What is it about this black uniform that makes everyone comment on it? Ah, good day, unless I'm much mistaken. You would be the young pickpocket who stole our experimental smoke grenade launcher. I can't talk. Hey, Mr. Sholmes! So, you have something of value to pawn, do you? Allow me to see the article, and I shall negotiate Mr. Winterbank on your behalf. Pull the other one. I don't need no help from some stuck-up D. Get out of my business. Go on, I'll make trouble for you. As you wish, Miss Lestrade. I will happily remove myself from your presence. He's really done it. He's gone. I'm sorry, but as I said, there really is no room for negotiation here. What is that thing he has in his hand? Some kind of metal disc? And you! Go on! Leave me alone! Oh, Miss Lestrade, just pretend we aren't here. We shan't be offended in the slightest. Susato-san can really stand her ground when she wants to. Whatever. Somehow I didn't really think you were the sort of person who'd come to use a pawnbroker, Miss Lestrade. Yeah, well I am. Alright, I'm a Londoner, just like everyone else. That's a problem, isn't it? No, not at all. It's just that, well... Oh, I get it. I know what you're thinking. That thing probably didn't even belong to her. Probably got on a dive, didn't she? Yeah, I can see it written all over your Chevy Chase. I don't think he'd be involved in this. Well, I might have been thinking something along those lines. You're not going to deny it, Mr. Naruhodo? Alright then, I'm just going to come out and ask you straight. Do you pawn things you steal from other people? Well, I'm not best to answer that, really. Suppose. Sometimes. You're not going to deny it either, Miss Lestrade? But not this time, alright, I swear. That thing belongs to me. The disc that Mr. Windibank is holding? Perhaps we ought to hang on one moment. Sorry about that. A phone call that I had to take and I couldn't let that one go. Anywho, let's continue. Perhaps we should say what he has to say about all this. Alright, Hatch. I don't believe this is a time for browsing, Mr. Naruhodo. Mr. Windibank, what exactly is this metal disc that Miss Lestrade has brought in? It seems to have hundreds of tiny little bumps on its surface. Ah, this is a music disc, you see. For use inside a music box. Music box? What, you don't even know what a music box is? You Eastern Lord ain't too savvy, eh? I know what a music box is. I've never seen one of these discs before. The small protrusions on metal disc encode a tune to be played by the music box. You simply insert the disc and set the machine going, and the beautiful music plays. It's so incredible. Tell us what tune is on this disc. Well, I'm afraid I couldn't tell you that. There are so many different types of music box, you see. British-made, German, Swiss. I've no way of knowing which particular machine this disc was made for. Ah, I see. And that's it in a nutshell. I wouldn't have any customers for an item like this, even if the young lady forfeited it. Really, I'm already offering more than I should at a penny. That's a packet of lies. He told me he did. He said it was, well... He who? Never you mind. Just ain't right, that's all. That disc's worth good money. I know it is. Well then, you'll have to try your luck at another pawnbroker's, won't you? Ah. She's been in before, of course, this little tatterdemalion. I see. And brought some dubious article or other with her every single time, I might add. Dubious? What are you trying to say? I'm an honest customer, me. So, is there something dubious about the disc she brought in today? Well, if only it were that simple. Sorry, what do you mean? What she actually brought in was a storage ticket. Oh, a storage ticket. So, Miss Lestrade had actually come to redeem an article from you today, is that right? Yeah, that's right. A girl like me is a lot of stuff what needs storing. Alright, yes, that's definitely dubious. The article in question would have been forfeited at midnight tonight. But as she gave me the ticket for it and repaid both the loan and the interest, I was obliged to return the article to her. What was the article? Do tell us, Mr. Windibank. The little scamp is wearing it, ma'am. That's actually a pretty posh overcoat. It's the overcoat she redeemed. Oh. What's wrong with that? It fits, don't it? I mean, it's mine, so of course it does. So, what about the disc then? How does that come into all this? Oh, the disc is something else. A new article to pawn if the girl and I agree at a price. I'm confused. I thought you said Miss Lestrade brought in a storage ticket today. No, it's really quite simple. Yes, a child brought to me a storage ticket and the money owed on it, as you see. For this heavy black coat, which you returned to her care, as I'd understood it. That's right. And rather unsurprisingly, as soon as the little ragamuffin put it on, she went rifling through the pockets. Oh, you mean... What? Don't you know it's rude to stare at a lady? I see. So it came from the pocket of the overcoat, did it? If you mean this disc, then yes, exactly, ma'am. And she immediately tried to pawn it for quite a high price as well. This is rather suspicious, I think. Give it up. I'm just trying to pawn for something like anyone else would. Miss Lestrade, may I ask who deposited the overcoat here in the first place? Well, me. It doesn't really appear to be your size. Me old man. It's me old man's, ain't it? Is it, Miss Lestrade? Yes, this is definitely all rather suspicious. Out of my way, please. Jeez, look at you, Mr. Dandy. You'd be like the roomkeeper, except a lot more posh and wearing white instead of black. Who's this picture postcard English gentleman? Good day to you, ladies, gentlemen. This is the thing that was playing for McGundle, or McGilded. I keep wanting to use his Japanese name. What's your problem, eh? There is no problem, as long as you remove yourself. I have a matter to discuss with the proprietor. Well, and if you intend to make a problem of it, I shall see you outside, little girl, for the hiding you deserve. Man, Gentleman of the Year, this guy. Look, any Elvis, I ain't done talking with him yet. If you think you're such a gent, you should know how to wait in line. Well, you're an impudent little brat, aren't you? As well as a pickpocket. Who are you? How do you know who I am? The question is, how do you not know who I am? You haven't the courtesy even to remember the faces of your victims, it seems. What? You mean from you? Broker! Yes, sir! I believe this filthy pocket thief has just redeemed an article from you, no? Yes, sir. The article in question belongs to me. I demand for it to be returned at once. Oh my! Now that's a lie! What are you trying to pull? Give me back my overcoat, you wastrel, and needless to say, any music box discs, too. Mr. Dancy seems to be thinking she stole it. No, you can't have it. You just can't. It's me old man's. Or was. Now it's mine. Goodness, Mr. Naruhodo. This is a very awkward situation. Yes. I think perhaps we should hear both sides of the story in a little more detail. Miss Lestrade, is what the gentleman is saying What do you think? It's all lies in it, obviously. I swear on my life, I never laid eyes on that dandy before. Let's hear it now, you little ragamuffin. You stole it, didn't you? That ticket you bought in here just now? No, I swear it. I swear to God. It was barely an hour ago. I was walking along the street, minding my own business, when this little gutterling ran into me. I knew at once what had happened. I've been robbed yet again, I thought to myself. Those wretched pickpockets. Alrighty. Yet again. Oh yes, as you can see, I'm a man of impeccable style. This isn't the first time I've been targeted by these backslum scoundrels. You sure you don't belong on Broadway? Now then, relinquish my overcoat. Da 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 da. Come along now, Miss Lestrade. Give the good gentleman his coat back. If we're going to cause trouble, I shall have no choice but to call the police. Oh, Don, why does everyone think it's me? Look at this dandy coat. You think I'm the dodgy one? I'm sorry, but no one's going to believe you. Well, what about evidence? Yeah. Where's your evidence I've stolen something, eh? Come on, let's see it. Oh, I have evidence, naturally. You what? Evidence that the article Miss Lestrade redeemed actually belongs to this gentleman. Of course, you need only consult Mr. Windibank's ledger to know the truth. We'll be able to look up the name of the person who deposited the article in the first place. Brilliant! I'm very sorry, but I'm afraid that won't be possible. Oh? I never ask customers' names. That's a strict policy of mine. But why not? Well now, as you can imagine, some of my customers have, circumstances to consider. A great many of them prefer to maintain their anonymity. Yes, I see. But then how can you know if an article belongs to the person asking to redeem it? Oh, it's quite simple. Good sir, might I trouble you for the watchword associated with the article in question? Of course, it's Professor. Yes, that's right. And all the evidence we need. This gentleman is the rightful owner of the article, without doubt. A watchword? Interesting. So, about these watchwords, Mr. Windibank. As I just explained, I never ask customers' names when they deposit items with me. There are many reasons why. Certain customers would like to keep their activities secret. That wasn't exactly a subtle glance at Mr. Sholmes now, was it? Great detectives have no dark secrets. None at all. Right. Yes, well, anyway, that's why I always ask for a watchword whenever I accept a new article. In many ways, it's like the secret combination of numbers used to unlock a vault. The date of deposit, a description, and a watchword uniquely identify each item. And of course, then I give the storage ticket to the customer. When someone comes to redeem something, I ask for the ticket and the watchword. And if that someone tells you the correct watchword, you return the article. That's right, sir. Yes, just as soon as the requisite fee is paid. And I have supplied you with the information you required already, but for the avoidance of doubt. The article in question is an overcoat, deposited 2 months ago on the 15th of February. That's a very specific date, with a watchword of Professor. All perfectly correct information, sir. But how? Really, this is beyond a joke now. There's no further room for doubt. Mr. Dandy over here. Excuse me, but who are you? One would expect the inquirer to introduce himself first. Though clearly you are not British, so perhaps our ways are foreign to you. Sorry, yes, we're from the Empire of Japan. We're studying here. Oh yes, Japan. I've heard talk of the place. Its inhabitants live on some fiery brown-colored soup dressed with exotic spices. You might be thinking of somewhere else. What was that theatrical gesticulation about? I don't know, maybe... What is a British equivalent of Broadway? Perhaps. Anyway, if you're a gentleman, sir, you offer your own name first before inquiring after the name of another. Of course, yes. I'm Ryunosuke Naruhodo. I'm a lawyer. Well, a student of law, really. My name is Suzato Mikotoba. I'm Mr. Naruhodo's assistant. I see. My name is Benedict. Yes, Eggert. That's not your real name. Unless it is, in which case I feel bad for your childhood. Enchanté. He's so refined in how he holds himself and how he speaks, but that name is suspicious. Now, to the matter at hand. Duel! My overcoat. Return it at once to someone with the style to carry it off. Every move he makes, every breath he takes, he'll be watching you. I can't stand watching him. Certainly a letdown. So, let that be an end to the matter. And thank you for your custom, Mr. Eggert Benedict, sir. With such reasonable rates of interest, I may even decide to come back. This is why I hate grown-ups. Just because I'm a diver, everyone thinks that makes me a liar. And the contents of the pocket, if you please, broker. Well, of course, sir. Here's the disc for you. Just this one? Pardon, sir? I was expecting another. That is, I deposited another. Another disc. Oh dear. I regret to inform you, sir, that what was deposited with me was merely the overcoat. The disc happened to be in one of the pockets, but I was completely unaware of it until now. Oh, thought that was Ryunosuke. The disc happened to be in one of the pockets, but I was completely unaware of it until now. So, Guttling, you're hiding more of what's rightfully mine, are you? Says who, eh? I don't know nothing about it. Very well. Then I shall bid you farewell. Say goodbye to style. Wait a minute. That disc is mine. What do you think you're doing, you little tramp? You've drawn blood, you filthy animal. Oh my. Yes, there's blood on the disc. It's because of all those sharp little bumps. The man must have scratched his fingers on them. I found it first, all right. I mean, it belonged to me, old man. It belonged to me, old man. So you're not having it. Or you take it. Me? If I go to it, they'll have it off me again. So you keep hold of it. It's the strut, Why is this disc so important to her? Well, we got it anyway. You there, in the black livery. Hand that disc to me at once, please. No, don't. He's lying. Grown-ups are all liars. What do I do now? How am I going to resolve this? Holmes! Holmes, you're up. Mr. Holmes, Sholmes. What are you examining with such keen interest there? As you enjoy a bar of caramel, I see. So, you found me at last, Mr. Naruhodo. You look like you're about to perform the Shungoku Satsu. Sorry, after that young pickpocket sent me on my way, I was forced to lurk in the shadows, cruelly ostracized as the rest of you partook in the jovial atmosphere of fellowship. I had nothing to occupy my mind, but was too ashamed to let society see what my downfall had done to me. So feigning mock interest, I pretended to examine the tedious trinkets in this desolate place, whilst, as you shrewdly observed, gnawing at the only friend I have left, the 7% solution of caramel. Hey, do you claim to understand the depths of my despair, Mr. Naruhodo? How could you? I was so lonely, so desperately lonely. Lonely, please, Mr. Lonely. Then why on earth didn't you rejoin the conversation? Things have gone from bad to worse here, you know. Yes, I overheard much of your conversation. Or rather, in my craving for human contact, my ears devoured every word that was uttered. You really were sad, weren't you? Poor Mr. Sholmes, I feel simply awful for you. It would seem that my inferences are correct. Surely you're not about to tell us that you've solved the entire case once again. My dear madam, sometimes I wonder, were my genius for deduction to be commoditized, how much could I pawn it for? I'd say 50 cents. It seems Mr. Sholmes has had another of his flashes of inspiration. But who knows if it will help to resolve the situation between Mr. Lestrade and the mysterious gentleman. What's the right thing to do? Alright. Well, Miss Lestrade, it would appear you find yourself in something of a predicament. What blue eyes have you been, eh? Pardon? When a lady's in trouble, a true gent's supposed to be there to help. Straight away. Not an hour later. Harsh. And who, pray tell, are you? Mr. Eggert Benedict, you have, in my eyes, a veritably encyclopedic array of curiosities about your person. Nevertheless, there are two immovable conclusions I have drawn. I beg your pardon. The first is this. The true reason for your visit to the pawnbrokery today is something you have not yet revealed. And the second is this. A considerable crime is in contemplation, one you will orchestrate with intent to steal a vast sum of money. Well, Mr. Benedict, what say you to my deductions? How? He's turned white as a hard-boiled egg. It would seem that once again, Mr. Sholmes has made a flawless deduction. Who do you think you are, sir? Ah yes, as I hoped. That is precisely the pained expression I was looking for. Alrighty, rock and roll. So, shall we begin? The time has come for yet another Herlock Sholmes. Logic and reasoning spectacular. The great deduction. The game is afoot. Let's see if this one goes better than the last two. Mystery Man's Aim. First of all, we must ask ourselves on what business you ventured to this pawnbrokery today. You claim to have followed this pickpocketeer, having had the redemption ticket stolen from you on the street. But that is most certainly a lie. The real truth is something quite different. As revealed by that which you hold in your hand, what brought you to the shop in the first place is a staff recruitment flyer. No. He's not looking for a job. A man of your appearance has no need for such a ploy. In other words, there is some ulterior motive for your actions. That cane which you unwittingly clutched your person exhibits an incontrovertible contradiction. What utter rot! I've had this cane for years. The contradiction of which I speak is, of course, the missing ferrule. What the hell? No, it's not that. detailed analysis shows the wooden tip of the stick to be utterly bare. What the hell is a fool? The rod that you hold in your hand, which appears to be a walking cane, is in fact no cane at all. You recoil, sir. Is something wrong? In your recoiling, you inadvertently facilitate the answer to the next conundrum to present itself. Namely, what is the truth behind the rod you bear? I could actually hear something tear there. The handle, which you evidently would like to conceal, is the key to misunderstanding the riddle. What walking cane demands such a stout handle? Mused I. But of course, as I said, this isn't a walking cane. That rod is the broken handle of a shovel. No, it's not. Are you insane? We ask that every day. Now, having determined this undeniable truth, the conclusion is clear. No true motive for coming here was to take employment at this establishment in order to excavate the ground beneath the premises. No. What a calculated crime you've conceived, sir. A wickedly calculated crime. The tunnel underneath the pawnbroker. Really? But we must expose the details of this elaborate crime you have been planning. This is utterly absurd. I know. You suggest I, a gentleman, intend to excavate the ground beneath this pawnbrokery with a broken shovel. What on earth do you propose I could expect to find there? Some long-forgotten treasure, I suppose? Save for a fanciful theory, what possible reason could I have to do as you say? Oh, but there is ample reason. As you are only too well aware, Miss Benedict. Ah, and your furtive glance is more telling than I could ever have hoped. What? Let us consider what would motivate a man to infiltrate a shop such as this and covertly dig beneath its floor. The answer is revealed by the council notice on the counter to which your eyes are inadvertently drawn. The letter gives notice of public works to be carried out in the local area. And according to the enclosed plan of the upcoming sewerage works, beneath this shop runs a sewer that adjoins another, one that runs under the bank on the opposite side of the road. This madness has entered the sewers now, has it? By excavating the ground beneath our feet, you would gain access to the waterway. That flows in the very close proximity of the great vault of the financial institution opposite. What are you? In summary, sir, you devised a master plan to pull off an elaborate bank robbery by dint of the underground tunnels. Master plan? That's almost as good as Sholmes's. The final chapter. With what plunder did the thief happen to make off from the underground vault of the bank? Are you quite serious? Having consulted with Scotland Yard some days ago, I happen to know the answer. And naturally, the answer is no secret to you, is it, Mr. Benedict? I have no idea what you're talking about. Allow me to present a rather interesting piece of evidence. You see the picture postcard that tells us all we need to know. A postcard of the Great Exhibition? I'm afraid you've quite lost me. Currently in the final stages of preparation, the Great Exhibition will soon be underway, and the government has provided extra funds to complete its centerpiece, the Crystal Tower. Funds that currently sit at the vault of the bank, on the other side of this room. Pardon? Yes, considerable crime you've been contemplating is the theft of that which sits in the vault in the bank, as special reserve funds for the Great Exhibition. Of course, that is top secret police information, so keep it under your hat, please. Then why the hell did you say it for everyone to hear? Steal the Great Exhibition's reserve funds. No. Thus concludes Sherlock Holmes' great deduction of the pawnbroking puzzle. No. Mr. Holmes? Well, Mr. Naruhodo? An impressively upbeat deduction for a detective racked with loneliness, would you not agree? Was it true what you said about the bank over the road and what it has in its vault? Indeed! Though few know of its existence, it is one of the government's most closely guarded secrets. Gregson told me, in the strictest confidence. But you just announced it to everyone here, rather loudly in fact. And if it's such a big secret, how would Mr. Benedict have come to find out about it? Just now! Clearly it is because the man is a criminal. But what if he didn't know anything about the money in the vault? If he is a criminal, as you said, then buying a brand new shovel is sure to be the first thing he does know, now that you've revealed the secret. Oh. Or if he doesn't, maybe Mr. Windibank will. He already has plenty of shovels here after all. Oh my life, I assure you, I'm not so unscrupulous. Well, hopefully this has taught you a valuable lesson. Sensitive information must be handled with the utmost care. One can never be sure that someone privy to its secrets won't disclose them. And once the word is out, it's out. Perhaps I'll think twice before confiding in you next time, Mr. Holmes. An excellent idea, Mr. Naruhodo. An excellent idea. Ah, ha, 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 ha. Well then, Mr. Naruhodo, you know what to do, I'm sure. Yeah, let's listen to that great deduction again, and see if we can massage it into shape. Very well then, let's start once more from the beginning. I'll see if I can get this right. Of Sherlock Holmes' magnificent logic and reasoning is spectacular. Hold it, Mr. Holmes. Alrighty. Claim to have followed this pickpocket here, having had the redemption ticket stolen from you on the street. But that is a lie. The real truth is something quite different. It's not the recruitment. It's probably something on the other side. So, by Mr. Holmes' reasoning, Mr. Benedict came here to apply for a job so he could dig down through the floor. Yes, in an attempt to tunnel through the sewers to the money in the vault at the bank across the road. But he wouldn't get very far with a broken shovel, would he? No, I think it's fair his motive lie elsewhere. The question is, where? What did bring Mr. Benedict down at this particular point in time? Oh, look at that scribbled notes on the back of the flyer here. I don't believe it. Listen to what it says. Name, Gina Lestrade, height 5'2", green cap, scruffy waistcoat, grubby white shirt, blue satchel, ragged. It's a detailed description of Miss Lestrade. There's even a sketch of her, hat and all. Although if it showed it to her, she'd fire that smoke grenade launcher at his face for sure. I got an idea. We are actually going to continue this in the next episode.